I wake up and reach for my phone before my eyes are fully open. The room is quiet, but my head is already loud. Messages, news, other people's lives rushing in before I even sit up. I tell myself I'll rest later. I just need to get through today. Again. What hurts isn't the tiredness. It's the feeling that I'm always bracing myself, always surviving, never arriving. I do self-care, but it feels like patching cracks while the pressure keeps building underneath. Have you ever noticed how you keep going, even when something inside you is quietly worn down? Have you ever wondered why taking care of yourself still leaves you exhausted? And here's the part no one tells you. This isn't happening because you're weak or undisciplined. The problem isn't that you don't try hard enough. The problem is that you've been taught to treat self-care as a reaction, not a system. You wait until you're drained, then you try to fix the damage. But your body and mind were never designed to live in constant recovery mode. They're designed for rhythm, for small signals of safety repeated every day. When those signals are missing, stress doesn't disappear. It accumulates quietly. That's why willpower keeps failing you, and why the solution is much simpler than you think. Your brain is not a machine that can stay alert forever and then be reset with a break or a reward. It works more like a nervous system constantly scanning for signals. Signals of danger, signals of safety. Every sound, every light, every task, every notification tells your body something about whether it needs to stay tense or can finally let go. When you wake up and immediately flood your senses with information, your brain reads that as urgency. When you rush through meals, skip sunlight, and live under artificial light, your body never gets clear timing cues. Stress hormones don't spike once and disappear. They linger in the background, like a low hum you stop noticing, but your body never does. This is why mental self-care alone often fails. You can tell yourself positive thoughts, but if your body stays in alert mode, your mind follows. The nervous system learns through repetition, not intention. It learns from what you do every day, not what you promise yourself at night. Small physical actions matter because they speak the brain's native language. Fresh air tells your system the night is over. Slow, deliberate movement tells it there is no emergency. Focusing on one sense interrupts the mental noise loop. Sunlight resets internal clocks that decide when you feel awake or drained. Cleaning or simple physical tasks give the brain something predictable and contained, so it can finally rest from endless decisions. Think of a stickman living inside constant motion, always reacting. His thoughts race because his environment never pauses. Now imagine the same stickman opening a window, standing still for 10 seconds, breathing. Nothing dramatic changes, but his nervous system receives a different message. For the first time, it hears safety instead of demand. This is why these simple habits work, not because they are clever, but because they restore the basic rhythm your body needs to feel human again. For a long time, I thought something was wrong with me, that I lacked discipline, motivation, or strength. But the moment I understood this, the self-blame softened. I wasn't broken. I was just asking my body to function in an environment that kept pushing it into alert mode. The truth is simple and relieving. I don't need more force. I need protection. My nervous system doesn't need constant improvement. It needs consistent signals that it is safe to slow down. When those signals exist, energy returns on its own. Focus follows naturally. Calm stops being something I chase and becomes something I fall into. This changes everything. The problem was never who I am. It was the rhythm I was living in. And rhythms can be rebuilt, quietly, gently, one small action at a time. I stopped trying to fix everything at once. Instead, I built a system that works with the body, not against it. Not big changes, not dramatic routines, just small physical signals repeated until they reshape the day. The first habit is opening the day, not reacting to it. When I wake up, I don't reach for information. I open a window. I let fresh air replace the air I've been breathing all night. I stand still for a few seconds and notice temperature, sound, light. The action is simple, but the message is powerful. The night is over. There is no emergency. The day begins on my terms. The stickman doesn't rush anymore. He stands by the window, breathing, choosing. The second habit is slowing time on purpose. Once a day, I do something that cannot be rushed, making tea slowly, washing a cup with care, preparing a drink that asks for attention. The goal isn't the drink, it's the pause. My hands move slowly. My mind follows. For a few minutes, there is only one task. The stickman sits, focused on one small motion, and the noise fades. The third habit is anchoring attention through the senses. Instead of trying to control my thoughts, I give my attention somewhere safe to land. A smell, coffee brewing, rain on the ground, clean air through an open window. I don't label it good or bad. I just stay with it. When my mind wanders, the sensation brings me back. The stickman closes his eyes slightly, breathing, present in one sense at a time. The fourth habit is letting light reset me. Every day I touch sunlight, not through a screen, not indirectly. I stand near a window or step outside for a few minutes. I notice warmth on my skin, the quality of the light. This tells my body when to wake up and when to rest. The stickman steps into the light, not rushing, letting his internal clock remember what time it is. The fifth habit is reducing background weight. I regularly look at what surrounds me and ask one honest question. Do I use this? Or is it using my attention? I let go of what no longer belongs. Not everything, just one thing at a time. Less visual noise, less mental drag. The stickman clears a small space on the desk and his shoulders drop without him noticing. The sixth habit is turning ordinary actions into moments of presence. Washing hands, feeling water temperature, soap between fingers, clean skin, nothing special, but fully noticed. Most of life is ordinary. If I'm absent there, I'm absent from my life. The stickman stands at the sink, grounded, fully here. The final habit is cleaning as preparation, not punishment. A few minutes of simple movement, wiping a surface, sweeping the floor, no rushing, no multitasking. The body moves, the mind rests. There is a clear result, before and after. The stickman finishes, looks around, and feels ready without forcing it. None of these habits are impressive alone. That's the point. Together, they create rhythm. Repeated signals of safety. A system that quietly teaches the body it doesn't need to stay tense to survive. At first, I made this harder than it needed to be. I expected immediate calm, and when it didn't arrive, I assumed nothing was working. That impatience kept pulling me back into force instead of rhythm. Another mistake was trying to change everything at once. Too many habits, too much pressure, and my body read it as another demand. I also treated these practices like tasks to complete. Stastucci, rushing through them just to say I did them, which erased the signal of safety they were meant to send. And sometimes I waited to feel motivated before acting, not realizing that motivation comes after the body feels stable, not before. Each time I noticed one of these traps, the correction was small. Slow down. Choose one action. Stay with it. Let repetition do the work. If this feels slow, that's okay. Real change rarely feels dramatic. It feels quiet, uneventful, almost invisible at first. And that's often where people give up, thinking nothing is happening. But something is happening beneath the surface. You are not failing because you struggle to stay consistent. You are learning how to listen to a body that has been ignored for a long time. Of course it resists at first. Of course it needs patience. Healing isn't a straight line. Some days you'll forget. Some days you'll rush again. That doesn't erase the progress you've already made. You don't need to become a different person overnight. You don't need perfect discipline or endless motivation. You just need to keep offering small moments of safety. Little by little, your system learns. And when it does, calm stops feeling like something you chase. It becomes something that meets you halfway. You are not broken. You are simply relearning how to live at a pace your body understands. I no longer see myself as someone trying to fix a problem. I see myself as someone who protects his rhythm. Someone who knows that growth doesn't come from pushing harder, but from creating conditions where the body can settle and the mind can follow. This isn't about becoming calmer someday in the future. It's about who you are now. You're the kind of person who notices the first moment of the day, the kind who slows down before stress takes over, the kind who builds stability through small, quiet actions instead of constant effort. If this way of living speaks to you, stay with me. Not to chase motivation, but to build a rhythm that actually lasts.